Hey guys, I'm Pixel Dan, and this is a review of the Masters of the Universe Classics Eldor. One of the coolest things about the Classics line is when we get action figures that we were always meant to get back in the 80s. Eldor here was going to be part of the Powers of Grayskull line along with Hero, but he never saw release. After years of only seeing photos of the vintage prototype, we now have an Eldor we can add to our collection. As you can see, he comes in the standard Masters of the Universe Classics blister card, complete with the Powers of Grayskull logo on the bubble. The back shows off a selection of other figures in the Classics line, and even gives us a brand new bio for the character. Eldor's an old wizard character, which is cool because he's really the only character like this in the world of MOTU. And while we've only ever seen pictures of the vintage prototype, the Horseman and Mattel really did quite a fantastic job of updating him for Classics. The sculpt on this guy is really top-notch. We'll start with the face, which features that bushy white beard typical of many wizard characters like this. The face has so much personality, with wrinkles along his forehead and around his eyes. He wears a hood over his head, which is removable, to reveal a skull cap done in sort of a shiny copper color. The head sculpt isn't the only impressive part of this figure, though. Taking a look at that hood on top of his head, it features a beautiful textured sculpt, complete with stitching. That same texture runs down his brown tunic, which is even tattered and torn around his waist and at the ends of his sleeves. His boots feature similar wear and tear, and have nice little details such as the rope that is wrapped around his calves. And then around his waist is the fanciest part of his outfit, being a shiny golden belt. There's even some really cool details on the back of the belt, such as little tools and a pouch that are hanging from his waist. These are non-removable as they're just part of the sculpt, but they are fully painted and really make for some great extra additions to the character's overall look. Alright, let's go ahead and take a closer look at Eldor here. So first things first, he's got this little removable head sitting on top there. When that's on, it is going to hinder the articulation on his head. So you're not really going to be able to move his head around too much. You can kind of move it around on the inside, but as you can see, it blocks the articulation quite a bit. But that is removable, and it's very easy. It actually just pulls right out. It's got a little lip on the hood, so it fits nice on there. It's good and snug, and it doesn't fall off when it's on. But it's very easy to pop it on and off, so that way you can pose them whichever way you want to. With that hood off, you can rotate the head like normal, left, right, bob it up and down there. You got your standard ball joints at the shoulders there, so the arms can go outwards, forwards, and backwards, swivels at the bicep, standard joint at the elbow, and swivels at the wrist. You got the nice torso crunch articulation there. You can also move the waist side to side. The legs are on the typical joints that allows him to move outwards, move them forwards, and get him at a pretty decent sitting pose. The front of his little tunic does hinder the articulation a little bit there, but it's not so bad. You got swivels at the thighs there. You got your standard joint at the knee. You've got twists at the boot cut, which is always nice. I love it when you can actually swivel the boot left and right there. Then you've just got your standard joints at the ankles. They're nice and tight there. You can see no pin showing, so the foot can move forwards and backwards. So articulation, pretty much standard for the male action figures in the Classics line, with the only real difference there being that with that hood on, it does make posing his head a little difficult. Other than that, the tunic that he's wearing, of course, is a separate piece that's just over the standard buck, so you can remove that just by kind of popping the pegs off there on the back, and then sliding it off the figure. Of course, the head is removable, so you can just pop it off that ball joint there, and you'd be able to slide the actual tunic off that he's wearing, and it just has the standard buck underneath that. So there you go, guys. Eldor includes 2 accessories. First up is his spell book, which was also going to be included with that vintage action figure. The large book has a great sculpt and paint job of its own, looking very much like an old, worn-out leather-bound book with nice golden accents. One side of the book features the red symbol that Hero wears, while the other side features the red iron cross seen on He-Man's armor. The book even has the ability to open up. The pages inside are blank, as you can see, but this is great for getting some nice spell casting poses with Eldor reading from the book. It is worth noting that with the way his hands are molded, he doesn't actually get a grip on the book, but playing around with him, you can always find ways to sort of rest the book in his arms. His second accessory is this awesome wooden staff. It has some really great details, especially at the top where it comes to a circle shape. Lodged within that circle is a clear spell stone. The staff holds well in both of his hands, and you can even pull off some nice two-handed poses. Alright guys, it's comparison time. Just so you can see how he evolved, here's the new Eldor alongside the photo of that vintage prototype. So there you go, my friends, a look at the brand new Masters of the Universe Classics Eldor. This one really feels like a long time coming. Since we finally received a hero figure way back at the beginning of the Classics line, fans have been waiting on the arrival of his mentor ever since. The wait was certainly worth it, because Eldor is a fantastic looking action figure with a beautiful sculpt, great paintwork, and some really fun accessories. And it's nice to finally complete that small little Powers of Grayskull unit on our toy shelves. Eldor is part of the 2014 Club Eternia subscription and should be available in October on MattyCollector.com. Until next time,
Oh.